facts to take me out. Fairy tales won't do it.
Drake is back, and he's not here to play nice. A fresh video blowing up online shows him firing off direct bars at Kendrick and his entire squad. And this time, Kate is dead silent. No response, no shade, just smoke. Drake came raw, and what he dropped, it flips everything upside down. Let's get into it. Drake just broke his silence. If you thought the beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar died off after Kendrick scorched him during that Super Bowl moment, think again. Real talk. Think again fast. Because the Six God just dropped a diss bomb nobody saw coming. And trust, this ain't just another track. This is a full-blown game changer. On July 5th, 2025, Drake came with a move so cold, it froze the whole culture. Out of nowhere, he surprise released a track titled, "What Did I Miss?" during a wild YouTube live stream named Iceman, Episode 1.
Telling you guys what you missed, and you missed Drake's new song called "What Did I Miss?"
Oh, we ain't missing.
Now hold up, before we even get into the lyrical bloodbath that just went down, let me lay out how major this moment really was. Like, seriously. Picture this. Folks all over the globe were just chillin', scrolling like it was any other day. Then boom. Drake's whole crew launches this insane live stream setup. The production? Insane. Straight movie vibes. Moody, cinematic, that classic Drake aesthetic he's been refining for years. The tension? You could feel it crawling out your screen. The track, "What Did I Miss?" exploded straight to the top of both US Spotify and Apple Music the second it hit. That's right. Even after Kendrick dropped the heaviest smoke of 2024, Drake's army is still marching behind him like nothing happened. But here's where it gets flaming hot. This ain't just about music. This is war. A full-on lyrical ambush dressed up as a record. The timing? Surgical. The visuals? Weaponized. Even the title screams, "I'm back and I never left." Let's rewind for a sec, just so you see how wild this move really is. At this point in the story, Kendrick had completely dismantled Drake all throughout 2024. He dropped nukes like "Not Like Us" and "Meet the Grahams," and the industry pretty much sipped Drake's rap casket shut. "Not Like Us" didn't just win the rap war, it became a whole cultural earthquake. The track swept 5 Grammys, including Record of the Year and Song of the Year. First diss track ever to do that. Ever. Legendary.
The day that Not Like Us dropped, I called him that night and I was like, "Yo, you won, it's over," you know.
The destruction was so complete, Kendrick didn't just win. He humiliated. When he hit that Super Bowl stage in February 2025, the world watched him twist the knife. This man brought out Serena Williams, yes, that's Serena, the one with history with Drake, to dance while performing Not Like Us. That's not a diss. That's spiritual warfare. Over 133.5 million people tuned in worldwide. And just to make it even more savage, Kendrick threw shade at Drake's lawsuit against Universal Music Group, saying, "I want to play their favorite song, but you know, they love to sue." Petty? Absolutely. Legendary? Without a doubt. By then, most of us thought Drake had tapped out. His final swing in 2024, The Heart Part 6, got dragged hard. Fans, critics, even meme pages roasted it. The general vibe? It was soft, uninspired, and couldn't hold a candle to Not Like Us. It looked like Drake was ready to clock out of the rap arena. Maybe focus on his fashion line, real estate deals, or go full Hollywood. But that's what makes What Did I Miss so deadly. It doesn't sound like a man who lost. It sounds like a man who disappeared into the shadows, planning revenge. And now, he's back. The production alone? Masterpiece level. London Seer, Oil, Angel, DJ Lewis, Tay Keith, Oz, FNZ, Elias, Skies, and Patron, all listed on the credits. These aren't just producers, they're sonic snipers. The beat hits like a slow-burning fuse, moody synths, hard kicks, and just enough tension to keep your skin crawling. It's emotionally loaded. It's theatrical. And it's the perfect playground for Drake to do what he does best, weaponize heartbreak. But what's really wild? The strategy. Unlike his 2024 diss tracks like Push UPS and Family Matters, which were blunt force trauma, What Did I Miss is psychological warfare. This ain't I'm better than you. This is I loved you and you stabbed me. He's not trying to out-rap Kendrick, he's trying to make him feel something. The title alone? What did I miss? That's not just a question. It's bait. A setup. It's Drake playing the role of the heartbroken ex, the betrayed friend, the misunderstood king. It's manipulation, and it's brilliant.
The song, honestly, it just sounds like another good hit Drake. I mean, a good Drake hit. It don't really sound like.
I don't even know if it's.
I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say a hit.
It don't.
It's a cool
I mean,
record.
like another Drake, like
the
single.
vibe.
Like okay, so like a vibe.
Before most people even processed what was happening, the streets were already on fire. The rollout, the visuals, the vibe, it all screamed campaign. Not just a track, an opening move. And here's the kicker. The live stream hinted that Iceman isn't just a song, it's the title of a full project. And if that's true, it's about to get ugly. And Drake's not the same man from a year ago. He's not giving us Take Care tears anymore. This is Iceman, a colder, sharper version of the emotional master we knew. This Drake is strategic, ruthless. He's flipping Kendrick's whole narrative, taking the "you're soft, you're fake, you're industry" insults and turning them into a new armor. He's not denying it. He's evolving it. Even the timing? Perfect. July 4th weekend. Independence Day. While everyone else was grilling hot dogs, Drake was declaring independence from the image that had been forced on him for a year. He's saying, "You think you wrote me off? Nah. I'm flipping the script and writing a new chapter with fire." But what really hits different? This track has emotion. Real, raw, untamed emotion. Not the radio-friendly, champagne-poppin' Drake. This is "I've been betrayed, and I'm bleeding through my bars" Drake. And fans felt it. His numbers? Proof. His February 2025 collab "Some Sexy Songs for You" hit 92.4 million streams in a single day, barely edging out Kendrick's GNX, which had 92.3 million. A coincidence? Not even close. That's war. So now, let's dissect the lyrics. Because "What Did I Miss" isn't just a vibe. It's a surgical breakdown of heartbreak, loyalty, and what it costs to play chess at the top. Every bar drips with venom, but it's laced in elegance. That's the magic of this track. It's soft on the surface, but it cuts like a blade.
Nobody cared till they in front of your tombstone. So what's up?
I'm not mad at what he's rapping about. He feels like these peoples was his homies, and he's going back at him. I'm not.
You feel that? Drake ain't just sending jabs. He's slicing deep into old relationships with surgical precision. This isn't rap beef anymore. It's an emotional autopsy. And the main bodies on the table? Every single person who showed up to Kendrick Lamar's The Pop-Out concert in June 2024. Let's start where it hurts, the chorus. Because what Drake drops there, that's not just a hook. That's a mission statement. I don't give a if you love me. I don't give a if you like me. Asking me how did it feel? Can't say it didn't surprise me. Last time I looked to my right, you was standing beside me. How can some people I love hang around who try me? Phew. Let that sink in. That's pure, raw vulnerability dressed up in icy indifference. Drake is saying, I don't need y'all love, but damn, it hurt when you flipped. That line about looking to his right? That ain't just imagery. That's trauma. That's trust being shattered in real time. He's talking about people he once broke bread with now smiling in the face of his enemies. And that phrase, who try me, that's the dagger. It's Drake calling out not just Kendrick, but everyone who stood behind him, cheered for him, reposted his songs, threw shade in passive-aggressive tweets. It's layered. It's bitter. It's war. And then, the verses go even harder. This ain't just a diss. It's personal inventory. You switched on the guys and supported a hater. Let's go. That one line? Pure gas. He's not calling Kendrick a rival. He's labeling him a hater. Small-minded. Petty. Driven by bitterness, not skill. That's Drake trying to rewrite the narrative. You didn't beat me because you were better. You beat me because you were spiteful, and they helped you. And then comes the real grenade. Drake aims straight at one of the biggest names in the world. I saw bro went to pop out with them, but been riding gangs since headlines. Translation? LeBron James, you fake for that. And the timeline checks out. LeBron was dancing at the pop out, giving Kendrick his flowers like Drake never existed. But back in 2011, when headlines dropped and Drake was blowing up, LeBron was all in his corner. This bar hit so hard. It broke the internet. Blogs, sports pages, hip-hop Twitter, everybody's jaw hit the floor. Because if Drake really just called out LeBron, that's guts. That's bold. That's iconic betrayal turned into a bar.
But the man done put so many people on. How many people don't? I mean, think about it. He too easy to hate on.
Let's be real. The audacity of coming for LeBron James, the undisputed king of NBA influence, is crazy. They were friends. They had history, public appearances, mutual respect. Drake even tatted LeBron's jersey number on his skin. And now he's accusing him of betrayal? That's not just music. It's a declaration of war in the celebrity elite. But LeBron ain't the only one getting smoked. There's another name buried in the ashes. DeMar DeRozan. Yup. The former Raptors superstar. A Compton kid. Someone who shared courtside vibes with Drake during the Views era. But he also showed up at the pop-out. And just like that, he's now on the emotional hit list too. Wasn't D. Rose in there too? Like, he got smoke with him now. It's layered. DeRozan's loyalty to Toronto clashed with his Compton roots. And Drake sees that as treason. What's wild is, these aren't random shots. These are people who were close. People who shared stages, backrooms, and birthday dinners. And now, they're caught in the crossfire. Then comes the third act, the most emotional, most human moment in What Did I Mississippi. Drake stops being cold, stops being slick, and just bleeds out. When I was looking at y'all and cooking with y'all, and giving out verses and bookings to y'all, making sure wires were hit. That's not bars. That's heartbreak. He's not flexing. He's hurting. He's remembering the moments he thought were real, hooking people up with money, features, connections, only to watch them flip the second it was convenient. It's betrayal not just on a public scale, but on a personal one. And that's the genius of this whole track. It's not built to win awards. It's built to haunt. Man, what did I miss? That's Drake, raw and wrecked, asking the question that ain't just rhetorical. It's a cry from the heart. Man, what did I miss when you was all in my crib looking at word for word at all of the shows? Let that sink in. This ain't surface level pain. This is a man reliving every handshake, every verse, every moment he let people in, only to get backstabbed when the lights came on. Drake is painting full-on flashbacks of moments that felt intimate, private studio sessions, money getting wired behind the scenes, verses exchanged, dinners shared. And now, all of that means nothing because the same people he brought to the table ended up eating with Kendrick. This ain't just about rap. It's about betrayal in its ugliest form. He's calling out artists he gave shine to. Think YG, who got a hit with Drake on Who Do You Love, but then showed up at the pop-out. Or DJ Mustard, who blessed Drake with fire production and then turned around and laced Kendrick's Not Like Us. The pain cuts deep. And what makes it genius is how Drake uses that same pain to flip the script. He doesn't just throw accusations. He makes you, the listener, feel the betrayal with him. It's weaponized vulnerability. He's not just saying they betrayed him, he's laying out the evidence like a damn prosecutor in court. Nobody's there until you start giving out two tones. Nobody cares until they in front of your tombstone. That line? Cold. The two tones, flashy watches. The tombstone, posthumous love. He's saying people only show up when there's something to gain, or when it's already too late. It's a grim reality check on fake loyalty. But then, Drake pivots. He goes from wounded to wealthy. I'm whipping around on like 600 acres. Let's go. That's the Drake playbook. Flex through the pain. He's letting you know he might be hurt, but he's still him. The 313-acre Dos Brisas ranch in Texas? That's where he's been plotting his revenge, rich and ruthless, with wine in one hand and war plans in the other. Then he goes crypto mode. What's the get back for? It's TBD. I look at the SHD, like B2C. Asterisk. Sheesh. That's metaphor on another level. He's comparing himself to Bitcoin. Unpredictable, volatile, but always bouncing back stronger. Down one week, sky high the next. That's how he sees this beef. Temporary losses, inevitable comebacks. And let's not miss the subtle dig. He's playing the stock market while Kendrick plays lyrical Monopoly. Business over bars. Now, the internet, it's in flames. Fans are split. Some calling Drake brave, poetic, a misunderstood genius. Others say he crossed lines, especially dragging LeBron James and other old allies through the mud. The complexity of these relationships, real friendships, business ties, hometown bonds, it's got Twitter fighting harder than the rappers themselves. But here's what makes this diss different. Drake isn't being vague. He's not hiding behind subliminals. He's dropping names, dates, receipts. That level of specificity is why this track hurts more than 100 subliminal bars ever could.
You don't start no with nobody from Compton. Compton? Hell no. They've been running the rap game since '91.
But this is where Drake's whole play turns borderline genius and dangerously effective. Instead of throwing hands through lyrics, he's throwing feelings, betrayal, abandonment, and loyalty. And here's the twist. By not going straight at Kendrick, but instead exposing how the people around him flipped for clout, Drake forces Kendrick into a no-win position. Think about it. If your whole narrative is that you expose someone as fake, disconnected from the culture, but then that same person turns around and drops a song saying your friends were the real sellouts? If you stay silent, you just admitted he's right. And there's legal landmines, too. Drake's lawsuit from January 2025, the one aimed at Universal Music Group for alleged defamation in Not Like Us, it's still sitting in court. And while Kendrick wasn't named directly, if he drops another diss laced with those explosive pedophilia accusations he used in 2024, you better believe it could fire that case right back up. Still, even with the legal risk, Kendrick might have to respond. Why? Because if there's one thing we know about Kendrick Lamar, it's that he doesn't duck smoke. He thrives in it. Just look at 2024. When Drake dropped Family Matters on May 3rd, Kendrick dropped Meet the Grahams 20 minutes later. He ain't about that slow-cooked response. He's surgical, rapid, relentless. So the question becomes, is this latest blow personal enough to pull Kendrick back into the ring? Drake didn't just challenge his bars, he challenged the very foundation of his win. That crew loyalty, that cultural authority, that pop-out moment with LeBron smiling in the crowd. If Drake's narrative lands that those smiles were bought, that those people were just looking for a moment, it could unravel the very image that made Not Like Us a movement. And don't forget the streets, they're loud. On one side, folks like @Swoop clowning Drake for looking emotional, saying he's still crying over a war that's over. But then you've got fans like @Stulumthaba, who literally begged Kendrick to get petty again after the pop-out and drop one last missile. So while the world debates who won, the money never stopped flowing. Drake's recent track, Some Sexy Songs for You, racked up 92.4 million streams in a single day, outdoing Kendrick's GNX by a sliver at 92.3 million. Numbers don't lie, and they're screaming that this feud still sells. If anything, this next round could turn their streams into another Super Bowl. And with Kendrick's tour on the horizon, the stage is literally set for him to clap back.
But end the discussion about who is number one. I think Drake, I made this, people have to go back with me in time. It's 2017, that's the year. Drake and Kendrick have always had this kind of competitive relationship, but not only that, fans have always said, it's like when people used to back in the day compare, I don't want to say necessarily LeBron and Carmelo, but whoever those two guys who are kind of like number one and number two.
But what really takes this whole thing to the next level is how Drake flipped the format. This ain't rap beef. It's psychological warfare now. He ain't yelling in the booth. He's making Kendrick question if his win even meant anything. It's not just respond if you're real. It's explain why your win didn't involve betrayal. And that kind of pressure? It's not easy to ignore. Now, some industry insiders think Kendrick might stay above it. He's shown signs of moving past this kind of petty war. His new focus on artistic growth, culture, and hip-hop's obsession with materialism suggests he's outgrown these lyrical brawls. That's the mature route. But maturity ain't always marketable. And Kendrick's entire brand is being the top lyricist. When someone comes for your throne, you don't just nod and walk away. Especially not when they question your allies, especially not LeBron James. The whole pop-out moment is now under scrutiny. And Drake's song puts it out there. Maybe they didn't ride for culture. Maybe they rode for clout. And with Kendrick's 2025 tour with SZA locked in, he's got arenas, SoFi Stadium included, where he could answer on the biggest possible stage. Imagine it. Lights go down, crowd on edge, and Kendrick drops the response live. The impact could rival his Super Bowl moment. Maybe even top it. But here's the strategic brilliance on Drake's end. He's rigged the rules. If Kendrick responds now, it's not about defending his bars. It's about defending his entire narrative. Was his win real? Or was it backed by friends chasing influence? Was his crew loyal? Or just opportunistic? Those are the questions Drake wants the world asking. Not who's the better rapper, but who's the real one? And guess what? The world is watching. The US saw the beef unfold. But now, the world wants answers. Drake's global fan army and his money-printing reach outside the US give him something Kendrick can't ignore: pressure. Real pressure. This ain't just about bars anymore. It's about image. And for someone who built their legacy on being untouchable, Kendrick Lamar might have no choice but to respond just to keep his global crown from slipping. Current hip-hop insider estimates? A direct reply from Kendrick sits somewhere in the 30 to 40% zone. Not a sure thing, but not impossible either. The case against a response? It's real. Kendrick already won in the public's eyes. He's got Grammys, and he's legally insulated. Why get dirty again? Especially with that Universal Music Group lawsuit Drake has brewing. But here's the twist. Drake didn't just drop bars. He flipped the board. This betrayal narrative he's spinning? It touches on identity, friendship, culture. It's personal. And if there's one thing that gets under Kendrick's skin, it's someone questioning his cultural authenticity. Now, if Kendrick does come back, don't expect a full-on diss track. Insiders say he's more likely to drop a slick bar during a concert or bury a jab deep in a future project. That's the Super Bowl blueprint, a flex on a massive stage, all eyes watching, all messages encrypted. His upcoming tour gives him all the tools he needs to reply on his terms. And that's part of what makes this so fascinating. No matter what happens next, this moment already matters. Because let's be real, Drake's What Did I Miss isn't just another rap song. It's a shift, a tactical evolution in the rules of hip-hop warfare. This isn't about who raps faster or punches harder. It's about emotion, memory, manipulation. This is vulnerability turned into a weapon. And that shift could change how every future rap beef plays out. Whether Kendrick responds or not, Drake has already done the unthinkable. He's flipped the narrative. He ain't the loser begging for relevance anymore. He's the betrayed king asking for answers. And the world, they're listening. So, as we wrap up this deep dive into one of the coldest chess moves in modern hip-hop, understand this. What Did I Miss ain't just a track. It's a blueprint. It's heartbreak disguised as power. It's one man using the mic not to fight back, but to reframe the entire war. If Kendrick Lamar claps back, it won't just be a new chapter. It'll be a rewriting of the ending. And if he doesn't, Drake's silence becomes louder than any diss ever could. The chessboard is active. The kings are pacing. And us? We're front row. Popcorn ready. So hit that subscribe button. Smash that bell. Because the second Kendrick drops anything, a bar, a beat, a breath, we breaking it down bar by bar, frame by frame, and giving you the realest context in the game. This ain't over. This is just the next opening move. And we're here for every single piece of it.